Habits Revolution, a new approach to personal development. Chapter 4. Identifying your habits. Have you felt like you're spinning your wheels, working hard but not getting anywhere? Or maybe you've set a goal for yourself but just can't seem to make progress towards it. If so, you're not alone. There are a variety of common habits that can hold people back from achieving their goals. Let's take a look at a few of them. Procrastination. Procrastination is one of the most common habits that holds people back from achieving their goals. It's the habit of putting off tasks until the last minute or avoiding them altogether. Procrastination can be a tough habit to break, but it's essential if you want to achieve your goals. One way to break the habit of procrastination is to break your tasks down into smaller, more manageable chunks. This can help make them feel less overwhelming and make it easier to get started. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is another common habit that can hold people back from achieving their goals. It's the habit of wanting everything to be perfect before taking action. While striving for excellence is admirable, perfectionism can be a roadblock to progress. It can lead to procrastination, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. One way to break the habit of perfectionism is to embrace the concept of done is better than perfect. This means focusing on progress over perfection and recognizing that taking imperfect action is better than taking no action at all. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is a habit of speaking to yourself in a negative or critical way. It's easy to fall into the trap of negative self-talk, especially when we're facing challenges or setbacks. But this habit can hold us back from achieving our goals by eroding our confidence and self-esteem. One way to break the habit of negative self-talk is to practice self-compassion. This means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend who was going through a tough time. Lack of focus. Lack of focus is a habit of allowing distractions to take over our attention. It can be easy to get sidetracked by social media, email, or other distractions, especially when we're working on something that's challenging or boring. But this habit can hold us back from achieving our goals by making it difficult to stay on track and make progress. One way to break the habit of lack of focus is to create a distraction-free work environment. This might mean turning off your phone, closing your email, or working in a quiet space. Fear of failure. Fear of failure is a habit of avoiding risks or challenges because of the fear of failing. It's natural to want to avoid failure, but this habit can hold us back from achieving our goals by keeping us in our comfort zone. One way to break the habit of fear of failure is to reframe your thinking. Instead of seeing failure as a negative outcome, try to see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Remember that every successful person has experienced failure at some point, and that failure is not a reflection of your worth or abilities. In conclusion, there are a variety of common habits that can hold people back from achieving their goals. These include procrastination, perfectionism, negative self-talk, lack of focus, and fear of failure. The good news is that these habits can be broken with the right mindset and strategies. By recognizing these habits in yourself and taking action to overcome them, you can start making progress towards your goals and living the life you want. When it comes to personal development through habits, one of the most important steps is identifying your current habits. Think of it like going to the doctor for a checkup. You need to know where you're starting from in order to create a plan for where you want to go. In this case, you need to know what your current habits are so that you can identify which ones are helping you and which ones are holding you back. So, why is identifying your current habits so important? Well, let's break it down. Awareness. The first and most obvious reason is awareness. By identifying your current habits, you become more aware of what you're doing on a daily basis. You might be surprised to find that you have habits you didn't even realize you had. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see everything clearly. Self-reflection. Identifying your current habits also requires a bit of self-reflection. You need to take a step back and examine your behavior and actions. This can be a bit uncomfortable at first, but it's an important part of personal development. By reflecting on your habits, you can start to identify patterns and behaviors that might be holding you back. Goal setting. Once you've identified your current habits, you can start to set goals for which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to change. This is where the real magic happens. By setting clear goals and identifying the habits that will help you achieve those goals, you're creating a roadmap for success. Prioritization. Identifying your current habits can also help you prioritize your time and energy. You might find that you're spending a lot of time on habits that aren't really serving you, and that you could be focusing your energy on more productive or fulfilling habits. It's like decluttering your closet. You're getting rid of the things that don't fit or don't bring you joy, and making room for the things that do. Self-improvement. Finally, identifying your current habits is an important step towards self-improvement. It's like looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to be. By being honest with yourself about your habits, you're taking ownership of your personal growth and committing to making positive changes. But how do you identify your current habits? Well, it starts with observation. You need to pay attention to your behavior and actions throughout the day. Here are some tips to get you started. Keep a journal. Keeping a journal is one of the simplest and most effective ways to identify your current habits. By writing down what you do throughout the day, you can start to identify patterns and habits that you might not have noticed otherwise. Try keeping a journal for a week or two and make note of any habits that you notice. You might be surprised at what you discover. Ask for feedback. Sometimes it's hard to see our own habits clearly. That's where feedback from others can be helpful. Ask a friend or family member to observe your behavior and give you feedback on any habits they noticed. This can be a bit uncomfortable at first, but it can be a valuable tool for identifying your current habits. Use a habit tracker app. There are a variety of habit tracker apps available that can help you identify your current habits. These apps allow you to track your behavior over time and can help you identify patterns and trends. Some popular habit tracker apps include Habitica, Streaks, and Fabulous. Try out a few different apps and see which one works best for you. Be honest with yourself. This might be the hardest step of all, but it's important to be honest with yourself about your habits. Don't beat yourself up if you notice some bad habits. We all have them. Instead, use this as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. Habit Audit Worksheet. A habit audit worksheet is a tool that can help you identify your current habits. It's essentially a list of questions that you answer about your behavior and actions throughout the day. Some common questions might include, what time do you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you do when you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? How much time do you spend on social media each day? What time do you go to bed at night? Do you have any bedtime rituals? By answering these questions honestly, you can start to identify patterns and habits that might be holding you back. Use a behavior chain analysis. A behavior chain analysis is a tool that can help you identify the triggers and consequences of your habits. It's essentially a way of breaking down your habits into their component parts. For example, let's say you have a habit of snacking on junk food in the evening. A behavior chain analysis might look something like this. Trigger: feeling stressed after a long day at work. Behavior: snacking on junk food. Consequence: feeling guilty and unhappy with yourself. By identifying the trigger, behavior, and consequence of your habits, you can start to understand why you're engaging in certain behaviors and start to make positive changes. Once you've identified your current habits, it's time to start setting goals and making positive changes. But remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and consistency to build new habits and break old ones. Here are some tips to help you along the way. Start small. Don't try to change all of your habits at once. Instead, start with 1 or 2 habits and focus on those. Once you've established those habits, you can move on to others. Use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for building positive habits. This could be as simple as giving yourself a pat on the back, or as extravagant as treating yourself to a massage or vacation. Create accountability. Find a friend or family member who can hold you accountable for building positive habits. You could also join a support group or hire a coach. Use visualization. Visualize yourself successfully building positive habits. Imagine how it will feel when you've achieved your goals and use that as motivation to keep going. Be patient. Remember, building positive habits takes time. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Keep working at it, and eventually you'll start to see progress. In conclusion, identifying your current habits is an important step in personal development through habits. By becoming more aware of your behavior and actions, you can start to make positive changes that will have a big impact on your life. Remember to be honest with yourself, start small, and use positive reinforcement along the way. With a little patience and consistency, you'll be well on your way to building positive habits and achieving your goals. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification icon for us to let you know when the video of the next chapter is ready.